Hi everyone, welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. My apologies for the last video where it seemed a little distorted. Hopefully today's a little bit better. I'm still working out the kinks in this new system here, and hopefully it turns out well. Today's episode is going to be about, is the MLRS still a viable unit to use? As in, can it possibly still be good? The reason this came up is ever since the Orca fires off 4 missiles. For those of you who don't know, it used to fire 2 shots and now it fires 4. And firing 4 shots and everything, I thought to myself, is it possible to actually make the Orca the MLRS viable? Is it even still usable given that air units basically dominate the game now, or that it plays such a huge component? Air units are no longer just a curiosity or a joke, but is something that every good player should have. So I decided to bust out the MLRS and see what's what. And I'm going to show you guys the results here. Keep in mind, these guys aren't exactly all-star players, right? Because I'm still in Masters 3. My focus has been trying to get back to this game, make good videos, and have fun while doing it, as opposed to trying to rank up every single time. And as you can see here, haven't had the chance to roll the MLRS yet. I take care of his shockwave pretty well. The key here again is to remain patient. I posted recently with Shukit. If you haven't watched it yet from Learning from the Greats, check it out in the description below. It's about being patient and about trying to control the map by taking out one unit at a time. And that's exactly what I do here. As you can see, it's all about patience. So there's a couple issues with the MLRS. One is that it is completely useless against air units, obviously. But as you can see, all I can really do is stand there and eat it. Right? And 2, the other issue is they're really slow to set up, and now that the MLRS can fire off 4 shots, there really is no reason for the MLRS to exist. I mean, I understand it's got a 2-tower range and everything, and that's great, but as you can see here, like, the Orca is so much more flexible as a unit. It can do so much more, and I don't really see the MLRS where I can use it and I go, yes, I won that game because I have MLRS, right? I'm playing these games and it's more like I won this game despite having the MLRS, if that makes sense. Meaning it's in my deck, but I'm basically just winning with 5 units anyway. The MLRS really does not contribute much in terms of helping me win. So in this first game, as you can see, the Orca is just doing a lot of work against my troops. I'm going to go ahead now and he's trying to use that little cheap drone trick of trying to win all the missiles. I'm just going to roll out hammerheads and stand on all 3 tiles. He probably should have moved his units. He didn't. And I'm going to get this win here quite easily, right? Just because he's not great as a player. And there it is, right? So Captain Sunburn, if you're watching this video, there's nothing against you. You can gain a lot more experience. Check out my video, right? Subscribe, and hopefully you'll be able to gain something from it. I'm going to show you here a second video now of using the MLRS. Oh, I didn't realize I played him twice. So let's see if he makes a strategy change. Yeah, I mean, the units are pretty evened out in terms of the levels and everything. He's got a decent deck with the air units, right? And he's using the Grenadiers in the way that I've been trying to fashion and trying to make work. So it's interesting. He's actually using the exact deck that I'm trying to make viable. So anyway, here it is with me rolling it out. I'm trying to play the matchup advantage here. And I'm just going to go ahead and chase him like War Dogs and try to apply a little bit of pressure against his Harvester. Right? For those of you guys who think that the Pippo, it got nerfed and it's not a great unit anymore, no, it's still pretty vital. The reason I go ahead and abandon it is because I assumed that he would try to protect his Harvester like every other logical person. But instead he decides to stand on the missile tile and do, well, not a whole lot, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and roll my Pippo. There's the missile being stalled out. Down goes his Harvester, right? And I'm quite easily going to get this missile. And there you have it. My War Dogs are still going to engage him 2-on-1. Here's a neat little trick. If you see an Orca coming after you, try to back out your Pippo if you have 2 of them so that one of them doesn't take all the damage. It takes 4 full shots from a Orca for a Pippo to die. So what you want to do is if you got a healthy one and a weakened one, let the healthy one eat a couple shots, and then this way you can actually have two pit bulls going against one, and you'll be able to take out the orca, and both of them will survive. As you can see here, I'm just going to go ahead and pressure him a little bit more. I'm not overly concerned about losing my pit bulls because I still haven't rolled out my Liang drone yet to heal my units. So there it is, and there goes the MLRS on the bottom. So the couple issues I have with the MLRS is, one, it's really slow, as you can see here. It really doesn't help you hold the map like it used to, right? And every time I have to set it up, it takes a while, right? I mean a while. It reloads kind of slow, and it used to be dominant, but now with the existence of the orca being a viable unit, personally, I really think the MLRS is just not as great as it once was. And I haven't yet found a good reason to use it, even though I'm getting wins here. I'm going to show you here against somebody with an ion cannon, so obviously he's going to try to go double harvester with a harvester and everything, and it certainly still works. I struggle personally with the ion cannon. I don't know how to make it use it in the right way. It's so expensive for every blast. But anyway, so there I am, rolling out my war dogs as usual with this deck. I see he's got one harvester. Based on the position, I knew there would be a second one coming, so I immediately start pressuring him as best I can, right? And out comes a jump jet troop. Like, that's gonna do much. So I'm gonna just gently retreat it because the missile's almost done, right? I'm gonna extend my shockwave there to take it out, and I'm gonna force him into an impossible position. Go try to go for the missile and take out my war dog, or go ahead and come out and defend your harvester and let my pit bull shred it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and look, I finally am able to roll up my MLRS, but as you can see here, the pit bull dash does a pretty good job all by itself. Look, the MLRS, I misclicked. I still have to move it into perfect position before I can do anything with it. And look, it ran away. Look how easily the harvester got away, and the harvester is not exactly a speedy unit. And that's what I mean, right? Like, if I just rolled out a tank, or I just rolled out a second pit bull, my MLRS could have easily destroyed them. That's right, those two units would have easily destroyed the harvester all by itself. The MLRS really doesn't contribute much. And there it is, all set up again. It's only got 3 shots. And I guess the only way truly to make the MLRS into even a half usable unit is to make it so that it does even more damage. Like you can see there, I fired off 3 shots against a sandstorm, and it barely made a dent on it, right? So that's where I have some concerns about the MLRS. In terms of improving it, I know they nerfed it quite a bit. It's a 70 Tiberium unit. I really feel either it could do a little bit more damage against vehicles, or maybe kind of making like an artillery where you get a 3-tower range. But then that would be even more overpowered. So I don't know, right? Comment below what you guys think. Another way you could do it is give it 4 shots instead of 3, just like the orca, right? And then that way you might actually see it come back to life. And so this is going to be the last match now where I go through, I try to use the MLRS. And again, this guy's kind of a dummy with the scarabs. So for those of you who ever have concerns about scarabs, the key is this. Keep the missile going, because almost every player who rolls up scarabs early like that, they're just trying to win the game by stalling it out, try to roll out some super strong unit at the end. Right, so there's a double harvester, and this is what I mean, that I'm winning despite my MLRS, right? It really doesn't do much. I mean, look, 3 shots doesn't kill the harvester, it takes 2 of them. And I know the MLRS, I didn't upgrade it beyond just level 9, but that was intentional, because it's not a great unit like it used to be. So I go ahead now and I try to pressure. It takes 2 volleys for me to kill the harvester. It just takes way too long. So now I'm going to go ahead now and pressure him. I knew this guy was going to roll out with some heavy hitting units, so that's why I try my best to keep this missile count going the whole time. I back up my shockwave there, I hammer my pit bull. He's charging the missiles for me, which I have no issues with. I'm going to go ahead and roll up my hammerhead and just start pounding away at his base. Right, because at this stage of the game, really, what's he going to do, right? I'm not really too scared of him rolling out any super strong units. I have somewhat of an economy. And again, he rolls out a basilisk for absolutely no reason. I mean, his base is almost dead, right? So we're just going to speed up this game here. And the real conclusion at the end of all this is, you know what? The MLRS, I'm going to come out and say it's trash right now. The way EA has set it up, they basically made the MLRS unusable to the point where I feel bad for those guys who spent, you know, coins in it. So EA, please do something about this, right? Maybe make the MLRS a little bit more viable as a unit. And for those of you guys who actually have a good use for the MLRS, comment below. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you and take care. Have a great day.